Thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. And the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. And the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Wow, that was so amazing.
It was.
Ah,
Knowing that I can release and let go and be free.
I just love to sing praise music. It just makes me so happy. And,
It does.
and you know, sometimes when I'm forgetting to release, it feels so good to sing that song in my head and just remind myself, and it just makes me happy.
Yes. So since I use it as an affirmation.
Right? All right, so welcome back. We're so happy to have you here today. And just to look back on what we've talked about over the past several weeks, we talked about affirmative prayer, then unification and being one with God, and then we talked about
Realization.
that's right.
Forgiving and letting go.
Yeah, and then
Then we gave thanks.
that's right, our
Gave
attitude of
thanks for
gratitude.
Yes.
Okay, so
Today we're going to talk about releasing and having faith.
that's right. Ooh, I like our song.
Yes.
I release and I let go. And we let spirit guide our life. That's faith, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, today's key, I guess, then is release and faith. Should we go ahead and say the Lord's Prayer together? Yes.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Ooh, so what were today's sentences that we're supposed to be thinking about?
Well, last time we did, for thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. So would it be amen?
Just one word? We've been doing lots of sentences. Could one word have a whole meaning? What do you think amen means?
Think about that one. Because if it's just one sentence and for it to be so powerful, it has to have a lot of meaning and signification in it.
That's right. So the word amen is so important that it gets its own lesson.
Wow.
All right. Well, let's figure out.
Let's find out.
Gretel, look! I
Did you
just
find
found it.
Oh, great, because this dictionary was just not helping me at all.
Well, I found it. It says that amen was the word that they would use in the Middle East a long time ago to seal an agreement.
Oh, wow.
So kind of like how we sign our name at the bottom of a contract, it was like they're sealing an agreement. So it says that it means like it's giving power to, or saying that something is truly going to happen.
Okay.
Woo! Now that we know what that means, we know amen is this special word that seals the contract, and it means our truth, and it's also powerful. Wow, now we can talk about how it ties in to faith and release.
But first, Sonia, we're getting so excited about what the word amen means that we forgot to do our gratitude in our offertory. So let's do that first. I can start. I'll go ahead and do my gratitude. So I am grateful for the birds singing this morning. We took a walk this morning and I can hear the birds singing. It sounded so nice just to walk along with the birds.
All
What are you grateful for?
We have our shakers. We can do our silent hands. All right. I am grateful for water. I'm grateful for water to swim in, and I'm grateful for water to drink, and the rain. I just love water.
Good. That's a good one. Yay! What are you grateful for? Yay! All right. So now let's do our offertory song. So at home, if you have a heart or anything that you want to share with the world, go ahead and imagine it in your hands, and then we're going to do the offertory prayer. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive.
Should we do the song? Yeah.
Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you'll end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold on tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many. They'll roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you'll end up having more and more and more and more and more.
So today we're talking about faith. And so faith is this amazing thing that we can't see with our human eyes. And it is just tapping into the truth and trusting, which is sometimes kind of hard. Because we're trusting in what we maybe can't see, or maybe what isn't quite here yet, but trusting that it will be here. So we have to have an open heart, right? Yeah. Maybe that's why the song says my heart is open wide.
Yeah.
We have to have an open heart to receive and be trusting in faith, right? And we have to listen, right, to divine guidance. Maybe that's why we use unification.
I think so. And the affirmative prayer. When we affirm, our words are very powerful. So using those words with all of that.
That's right, because we have to build faith, right?
Yes.
So the only way to build faith is to practice it. So do you think that just singing that song could build our faith?
I think so. It has it all in there.
It sure does. So maybe when we forget and it's really hard to remember, we can just sing that song or listen to the song and just remember, right?
Yeah.
Now, if in order to grow our faith, we have to release what's not true, then that's why release is important. So when we talk about release, what do you think that means?
Well, I know release means to let go. Like I can let go of clothing that no longer fits me, or maybe when you guys were younger, like if you had a little pacifier or a blanket, you had to let that go when you became a big boy. That's releasing. But sometimes it's just not about things. Sometimes we need to be able to release thoughts and feelings. You know, just holding on to any feelings that you might be feeling. Sometimes you have to be able to release those too, because they're no longer serving you. They're not helping you grow into this peaceful, loving human being. So when you are able to let go of all of that stuff, like your negative thoughts, your negative feelings, you become free. And when you become free, you're able to be your truthful, loving, God-like self. And you're able to put that out in the world as well.
That's just like how I felt at the end of the song. I felt free, free in the spirit. Wow. What if we could live every day free, just totally free in spirit and happy?
That would be something to try to become aware and then just say, okay, feel it, and now I let it go.
I think that's important too, though. I think we have to remember to feel it. Because if we're sad, I think it's important to let ourselves feel it and then just maybe not hold on to it, feel it.
You know that that's not our truth, it's being sad or staying in negative thoughts.
Yeah, that we have the ability to choose to be happy again, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so now it's time for us to do our mindfulness activity. So we welcome you to get a rug or a mat and lay down as we prepare for our Joyful Jellyfish.
Now that you have laid down on a mat or your blanket, let your arms rest loosely by your sides. Close your eyes and notice your tummy rising and falling with your breathing. Feel your muscles sinking into the floor beneath you. Let your body be as still as possible. Now imagine you are a joyful fish floating in the water. Now let your worries glide off your jelly body. Let them slip away in the water. Just float freely through the sea. Nothing in your way. Nothing holding you back. When you are done, rise slowly, taking your joyful jellyfish heart. Alright, so now it's time for us to do our opening activity. Alright, so for our opening activity, we're going to be doing a plant. So you'll have your soil and your seeds, and then your little pot. So any extra items that you might need for this is just maybe a cup of water so that you can water it afterwards. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to put some of our soil in here. Let's not fill up all the cup. We'll save some, and then you can use your finger, or you can use a tip of a pencil or something to make a small hole. And this is where you're going to put your seeds. Backing up in the back. There we go. And so you can put all your seeds in there, or you can just put 3. Whichever ones will grow once they get watered and given lots of love. I'm gonna go ahead and put all my seeds in there. And then after you put your seeds in, you're gonna put the rest of the soil and cover them up. If you want, you can also use like an old spoon or small shovel to take your dirt out. Alright, so once you have your seeds in there, you can just add some water to it, and be careful not to add a lot. You'll see where your water is going to show up on the cup. And then once these seeds grow, you will be able to grow them outside too. So you can put them in a bigger pot, or you can just go ahead and plant them in your garden, because these will grow very tall. And you can go ahead and put it in with this pot, because it is biodegradable. So it'll eventually disappear on the earth.
All right, so today's book is going to be Chicken Soup for the Soul, and we are going to be reading a passage by Eric Butterworth, and it is called Love. Love, the One Creative Force. And our opening at the top has a quote by Mother Teresa. Spread love everywhere you go. First of all, in your own house. Give love to your children, to your wife or husband, to a next door neighbor. Let no one ever come to you without leaving better and happier. Be the living expression of God's kindness. Kindness in your face, kindness in your eyes, kindness in your smile, kindness in your warm greeting. Mother Teresa. A college professor had his sociology class go into the Baltimore slums to get case histories of 200 young boys. They were asked to write an evaluation of each boy's future. In every case, the students wrote, "He hasn't got a chance." 25 years later, another sociology professor came across the earlier study. He had his students follow up on the project to see what had happened to these boys. With the exception of 20 boys who had moved away or died, the students learned that 176 of the remaining 180 had achieved more than ordinary success as lawyers, doctors, and businessmen. The professor was astounded and decided to pursue the matter further. Fortunately, all the men were in the area, and he was able to ask each one, "How do you account for your success?" In each case, the reply came with feeling. There was a teacher. The teacher was still alive, so he sought her out and asked the old but still alert lady what magic formula she had used to pull these boys out of the slums into successful achievement. The teacher's eyes sparkled, and her lips broke into a gentle smile. "It's really very simple," she said. "I loved those boys." Eric Butterworth. So, you might wonder why we're reading a book about love. or a story about love when we're talking about release and faith. But what do you think that teacher had to do to love those children that much? Do you think that maybe she had to release some ideas of what we should expect from kids in that area? Because the students who interviewed them, they had decided in their heads that these people were not going to make it in life. But those students were wrong, right? Those college students were wrong. And what they failed to realize was that this teacher had an open heart. She released the expectation that society had for these kids. And she had faith that they could be more. And so, because she was able to show that to them, they were able to release any negative ideas they had about themselves or thoughts. And they were able to have faith that they could be professionals and successful in their life, right? And so sometimes release and faith comes from both outside and inside, right? Sometimes it comes from the people around us as well as ourselves. And we can't control what other people think, but we can control what we think. And so it's important for us to release any ideas that don't serve us and have faith that we can achieve our goals. All right, so for today's craft, we are going to do something with our beans and a piece of paper. You'll need a pencil and glue. And when we first start, you're going to have to count out 5 beans. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so first we're going to take our paper and we are going to draw an outline of something. It can be an outline of an image or shape, whatever you'd like, but you want to make sure that it covers the majority of the paper and it's just the outline. Alright, and now that we have our outline, we're going to use our 5 beans that we've counted out to try to fill the entire picture. Let's see. Look at the lining of the picture. It's not going to fill my whole picture with these 5. Maybe if I turn this sideways. It's still not working. So I was trying to fill my whole picture, but with 5 beans, I can only get a part of it. How did that feel for you to try to fill your full picture with just a few beans? It's kind of frustrating for me. No. Now, how can that be like faith? Do you think that maybe sometimes when we don't have enough faith, it can be frustrating and feel like we can't do something? Let's see what it's like to have enough faith. All right, so now I'm gonna pretend like this is my bag of faith. And I want to create love. just need to put beads all on the line. And you can create whatever pattern you want. This is a little bit harder than I thought it was All right, now that I was able to fully reach into my bag of faith, I was able to fill up the whole space and outline the entire heart and create what I wanted. What do you think would happen if I let my faith grow even more? My faith is growing and growing, and I think that as it grows, it begins to fill in even more. This is what I imagine faith would look like as it continues to grow. And I continue to release whatever I thought this was going to look like, and just embrace what it has become. Alright, so now I have, my heart is full because my faith has grown. What does your faith look like? So what an amazing releasing lesson. Release and faith. I didn't realize how much they went together. What about you?
Yeah, I haven't really put two and two together.
Well, so we are almost to our final weeks. We learned that amen is, wow, a big word, right?
Word, yeah. Even though it's so tiny, it just has a lot of powerful meaning behind it.
That's right. So, yes, let's just take a deep breath and get ready for our closing prayer. So I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Right, straighten your spine. Take a deep breath in. And if you'd like to, you can bow your head. We stand on the solid ground of faith. With faith in God, we are stronger and able to do great things. Just breathe out. Our faith in God helps us to be brave and do things we didn't know we could do. We always do our best when we have faith in God and ourselves. We release all that does no longer serve us. We move forward today and every day with faith and love in God. Amen. Alright, so our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.